momentous day, if that's the right word to use. Momentous, whatever. I don't think that's really important right now. It's very dark and dreary. It's not just because I have the lights on. Lights don't have any lights on except for one that you can't really see. Uh, I usually know today to be a very sunny day. Like, of course, it's still cold. In some places, there's plenty of wind, but like today is usually a very sunny day where you would feel comfortable, or people more affected by the weather than others would feel comfortable going outside because the sun's out. But today is dark and dreary and rainy and wet, and I looked at the weather in a few other places, and for the most part, it seems to be a lot of the same. I mean, of course, in the areas where, it's usually sunny, they aren't seeing what a lot of us are seeing more up north or more out the eastern way. The desert areas are as they usually are, for the most part. Today is the first day of I don't even know what. I'm not scared. I'm not defeated. Doesn't mean I'm not concerned. I talk a whole lot of big game. Like, I'm just never afraid of anything most of the time, but I can definitely say that I'm very appreciative to be where I am right now, because I am hoping that this will be a declared rebel state. And even if it's not outwardly declared with words, like so many, a few other states have declared, such as New York and California, I am at least in a rebel city. I don't know about the county, but city limits is definitely no one to fuck with. I don't know what's going to happen at all. I'm not going to pretend like I do. I'm going to save the Be Strong chanting for the protest tonight and the protest tomorrow. The great protest tomorrow, the Women's March. I'm just now waking up, and I feel like I have so much to say, but there have been things going on in my own personal life, and so much going on in my work life that I'm very happy about. A lot of things seem to be moving in the right direction. But I know for a lot of people, today begins a very major crippling setback. And for all I know, I could be one of those people. If you know you can die at any moment, like, what would be the moment in which, if you could choose, what would be the moment in which you would die, Would you rather die because your leader instilled baseless, foundless regulations or laws against you, or took away rights that would have otherwise saved you? Would you rather die in your sleep? Would you rather die in an action, like trying to save someone, or even being the victim of something? Would you rather die in a more memorable way, or would you rather be a statistic of the people that died by the time terrible leadership was over? It doesn't even matter to you. That's one of the questions on my mind today. Be it insignificant and frivolous. I know in the long run it doesn't matter how a person dies. People die, but a lot of people survived Reagan, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people died of AIDS. A lot of people died in very unnecessary poverty. I lived through George Bush and Bobby Jindal simultaneously, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people died in poor health, in need of health care that they could have gotten that they didn't get. Um, a lot of people died of very small things that could have been prevented. A lot of people died because they lost their livelihood to um, the BP oil spill. Um, a lot of people died just, I mean, like, of course there was the concern for the contamination of our food. And that can happen at any time, but knowing you have oil in your fish, it's pretty fucked up. Um, a lot of people probably made some unhealthy decisions, um, did some dirty work that they could have otherwise not had to do if things had just been better in so many different ways. Um, and a lot of people just died poor, and I don't know what's gonna happen now. Like, a lot of people were concerned about nuclear war and war in general. Um, a lot of people were concerned about things on an international level, but the Affordable Health Care Act has already been dismantled to the point where it's no longer even existent, with no talk of replacing it with anything, of course. Um, I mean, like, there's been like a lot of verbal, unfulfilled attacks on the rights of LGBTQ people. There have been a lot of verbal and outright attacks on, I mean, every year there's attacks on women's rights and women's health. I mean, nothing surprising, but still jarring and shocking that we say that we live in a third world country in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and yet people are still second class citizens here. Not that it isn't a dynamic that we aren't used to. I feel like we've been treating people like second class citizens for so long, it's not something that we're willing to let go of. And since we can't do it to black people anymore, at least legally, or not without some kind of way around it, we still do it to women and people of different sexual orientations and gender identities. I'm not saying that we're going to go back to the 1950s because that's ridiculous. I'm not saying we're going to be like Russia because we're not going to be like Russia because we're America. But I'm saying that complacency just has to end. It's gotten us into a lot of the trouble that we're in right now. Even under Obama, there were a lot of attacks on women's rights. There were a lot of attacks that were well phased out on LGBTQ rights, and now they can dismantle healthcare because Obama's not there anymore. It's like, even though all the progress that we wanted to make wasn't made thanks to a racist, misogynistic, classist Congress and House that could vote on a lot of what Obama could and couldn't do, there's still so much that can be reverted and taken away from us. And of course, like, the only thing we'll be left to do is like run around like cave people or something. Even though I just said we're not going back to the 50s or anything, I just made a reference of us going around like cave people. But I feel like cave people treated women better than we do now. We have established societies that are pretty much built off of discriminating and persecuting the different, and somehow women fall into the category of different even though they are an entire half of the world's population. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because, like, intersex people, they don't really get counted, but you know what I mean. Intersex and non-gender conforming, since I want to use the word woman instead of female. But I a lot of people watching the inauguration today. I'm like avoiding social media right now because I don't want to be any part of the inauguration. I'm not watching it. I don't want to see tweets about it. I don't want to see Facebook about it. I don't want to watch the videos. I don't want to see any of it. I just hope that everyone's going to be okay. I hope that we do live through Trump. I really do. Bye.